I'm an on-time kind of guy. Okay, I like to be on time. How about you? Show of hands, how many of you are on time out there? All right? I'm looking around, and it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I see some of the guys putting their wives down, and their hands are going up. I think there was more guys than there was females there, which I find interesting. And also, you know what I also find kind of cute is some of you who just like walked in the door 2 minutes ago, your hands went up high, okay? It's like, yeah, okay, that's cute. But I'm an on-time kind of guy, all right? And when I'm not on time, have you ever noticed, this is my confession, I can become a bit of an overly aggressive driver. Okay, if I'm going someplace and I know that I'm late, I can get a little aggressive out there on the road. I mean, have you ever noticed whenever you're late, you can hit every red light there is on the road? Whenever you're running late, the person in front of you, no matter which lane you're in, the person in front of you will come to a complete and total stop before they turn right into a parking lot. I mean, when you're late, I just begin to get aggravated because I am an on-time person. And I think I kind of learned from this. I've developed over the years because when I was younger, I struggled with 5 more minutes syndrome. 5 more minutes. You're out on a date or you're out having fun with your friends. And it's just 5 more minutes. I mean, sure, you have a curfew. You've got to be someplace at a particular time. But just 5 more minutes. And after that, it was 5 more minutes. And ultimately, you're late, right? You're 20 minutes from home and you got 5 minutes to get there. I mean, we've all been there and we've all done that. I mean, even as adults, I think many people struggle with that 5-minute more syndrome. I mean, even as adults, we struggle with this just one more. I mean, just one more. I mean, what's the harm? What's the danger? Just one more. But with that kind of thought, with that kind of process, our margin of error is gobbled up with just one more or just 5 more minutes. I mean, when it comes to Girl Scout cookies, just one more sleeve, right? Now, I don't know about you, but that's how I eat Thin Mints. I eat them by the sleeve, not necessarily by the cookie. And as I eat 2, 3 sleeves, I get sick to my stomach. But what's just one more? For my generational gap, you remember these 3? Oh, sir, it's only waffle thin from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I mean, for many people, it's just one more pair of shoes, just one more swipe of the credit card, just one more beer before I go home. Just one more kind of thinking. But when you do the math, one more rarely adds anything to what you're trying to accomplish. In fact, that one more mentality usually subtracts from what we value the most. I mean, in our world, okay, our natural inclination, our natural inclination is to live as close to the line as possible, isn't it? I mean, our natural inclination is to cuddle up to that line, to live as close to that line as you can possibly live without any negative consequences. I mean, for instance, unless you are extremely unique, okay, most people, they drive either at or above the speed limit. Okay, I mean, just so you know, I-15 out in Utah is the fastest highway in the United States. Okay, they travel nearly 80 miles per hour, even though the speed limit's only 70. But if you're on I-75, right, I mean, you know what the posted speed limit is, and most of us, yes, I'm confessing again, most of us drive at or above the speed limit. In fact, we want to drive as close to that line as we possibly can, that we come up with this figure in our mind. There's no reason, there's no logic to it, but as long as I'm going 77 miles per hour or less, police officer's not going to pull me over, right? I mean, we want to drive as fast as we possibly can, and we don't feel guilty about breaking the law, but we surely don't want to interact with the law, do we? And so we rationalize it and we justify it in our mind because we want to live as close to the line as we possibly can. And what line am I talking about? The line between legal and illegal. The line between responsible and irresponsible. The line between moral and immoral, ethical and unethical. I stumbled across this cute little Mary Poppins kind of slide. You can be as naughty as you want, just don't get caught. All right, and for many people, that is our philosophy. That's how we live life. We want to cuddle up that line as close as we can without feeling the consequences. And I think that train of thought is kind of fueled by some false assumptions that we have out there. You know, people say I make way too many assumptions. Well, I mean, they don't say it, but I know that they're thinking it. Okay, and many people, we have these false assumptions. 4 of them. Here are 4 false assumptions that fuel our snuggling up against that line. If it's not wrong, it's all right. If it's not illegal, it's permissible. If it's not immoral, it's acceptable. And if it's not over the line, it's fine. I mean, when you take a look at those assumptions, do you see how they don't make sense? Can you see how there's some stinking thinking right there? I mean, if you don't understand it, go ahead and put on your parent hat or put on your older sibling hat just for a moment, okay? Because with people that we love, with our children or with people that we love, we would never set the bar that low, would we? We would never say, you know, you can stand on the line, it's fine kind of thing, as long as you don't. We would never set the bar that low. I mean, the question is, how far can I go before the consequences are no longer manageable? How close to the line can I get before I feel the pain or the discomfort? I mean, for Christians, how far can I go before it's called a sin? And then it doesn't stop there, does it? I mean, the initial question is, how far can I go? How close can I get to the line? But then ultimately it goes, well, how far over the line can I go without feeling the consequences? I mean, how insensitive can I be to the needs of others? How far over the line can I go and with my family or with what I say or with what I do before the consequences become unmanageable? And as soon as we hit that, I mean, that's a dangerous, slippery slope, isn't it? And it all starts off with a bad question. The question is this: is there anything wrong with this? I mean, I think this is the way we think. We look at an option, we look at a decision that we have to make, something that we're going to do, and we ask ourselves, is there anything wrong with this? Which is immediately followed by the next question: how in the world did I get myself into this mess?